The one watch collection, a vaulted idea in wristwatch lore, the proverbial white whale, the watch that ends the hobby or fulfills it. Watch nirvana. It's an interesting topic, especially for watch collectors, and it's a unique question in the gear hobby, actually. For example, most knife guys would never think of being content with just one knife. And most car enthusiasts have to be happy with their one special sports car. So to talk about finding that one watch is a unique problem in the world of wristwatches, and it's been on my mind recently with my State of the Collection video and seeing a lot of other State of the Collection videos rolling out right now. In this video, we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of a one-watch collection. I'll be giving 3 of each, and then I'm going to put the ball in your court because I want to hear from you what you think about this concept. No doubt there are some iconic watches that are considered more eligible candidates for the single watch collection, including I've had some people say the Tudor Ranger could be that. I'm not sure if this example is, but what we're going to discuss more in this video is the philosophy of collecting and what is behind the notion of a one-watch collection and if it really holds up for the watch enthusiast. Lastly, I'll be giving an update on my Tudor Ranger, which I've now owned for a little over a month. I'll be talking about some of my further impressions of this watch now that I've been wearing it regularly, some of the things that I'm enjoying about it, and some of the things that have been a problem for me. So of course the idea of a one-watch collection is that you as a collector are somehow able to find a watch that fulfills all of your desires as a collector. It's the perfect watch for you. It's a watch that when you have it, you are content. Or at least that certainly seems to be the lofty hope of a single watch collector. Let's get into the pros. The first pro of a one-watch collection is that you're able to simplify, allocate your resources, and direct all of your possible income into a higher level quality watch. Now that might be a Rolex Submariner, it might be a Patek Philippe Nautilus. For some people it might be a Hamilton Khaki. But at any case, the idea of being happy with one watch is that you are able to allocate as fully as possible your resources into one watch. In some ways this seems like a very powerful argument. Wouldn't you want a nicer watch in your collection? Wouldn't it be better to have one nicer, superior watch to a number of inferior watches? So that seems like a good point. A second interesting argument in favor of the one watch collection is that the enjoyment of the watch is better than the hunt. So this is an argument that you sometimes hear from minimalist philosophy type of guys who are trying to just really pare down everything in their life, that somehow you can get a deeper delectation of things if you're able to sort of focus your enjoyment on them more fixedly. And there's also some merit to that. For sure, it's hard to spend time appreciating every watch in a collection if you have many watches in your collection. And a lot of times guys with bigger collections, myself included, are often not able to wear watches that they enjoy as often as they would like because they're rotating through pieces. And the third compelling reason that I'll give for having a one-watch collection is that there's something really special about having that signature piece. That one piece that not only you associate with yourself, but everyone else associates with you. Whether it's the one watch that you got for getting that special degree, or the one watch you got at your wedding, or the one watch that when you got that promotion, you knew your company was going to give it to you, and it was the last watch that you knew you would ever need. Having just that one watch seems to be a very special thing. So a signature piece, a piece that really fits in with your lifestyle, fits in with your personality, well, that seems to be a very compelling reason to try to find that one right piece that is your signature piece. Now here are some cons, though, arguing to the contrary of the one-watch collector. First of all, and I think that this is a powerful objection, no watch is perfect. Whether it's your Patek Philippe or your Rolex or even a lower level watch like an Oris or a Seiko, These are watches that all invariably are subject to some level of criticism. There's design choices that are made in every watch that compromise it in some way. The Submariner is perfect, except that the bezel makes the watch busier. The Nautilus is gorgeous, but it's decidedly modern. A Hamilton Khaki is a versatile watch, but it isn't very formal. The second interesting con against the one watch collection is simply that watches as a whole are more interesting than any one watch. Why would you want to limit yourself? There are a variety of pieces that would either complement each other or fit well together in a collection. And the third con that I have related to this is that there is a specific joy in collecting. The interactions that you have with fellow collectors, the encounters and research that you're able to do studying for the next piece. And finally, the satisfaction of getting that new watch after the hunt. Hey guys, Andrew here. It's the next day. I'll just be honest, I was tired and so I went to bed. And so let's get back on topic. To wrap up the pros and cons of a single watch collection, there's a term that I kept wanting to remember last night and I couldn't remember it. And that term is from philosophy, actually. It's from Immanuel Kant in particular, who popularized the term, and that's an antinomy. Now, an antinomy is a set of arguments that seem to be paradoxically irrefutable, but are opposite arguments. In some ways, I feel like watch collectors put themselves in a position of antinomy when they are talking about watch collecting. That is to say that they exalt different values that seem to be self-contradictory simultaneously. Now, without getting too heady about that, I think the long and short of it is, really there are just different priorities. And it's up to each collector to decide what their priorities are. Alright guys, for the second part of this video, I'm going to give you an update on my Tudor Ranger. And in particular, I'm going to pull out my phone here, and I'm going to see what questions you guys have left me on my community page here on YouTube, which I'm trying to use more. My community page is one that I am just really starting to get used to, and regularly posting some pictures and polls and that kind of thing. And so what I'll do now is just respond to your questions that you've left me, because I did solicit those questions yesterday. So we'll just go right down the line. Turbo P asks, would I trade it, that is the Tudor Ranger, for a Black Bay 36? And do I miss a steel bracelet? First of all, I don't think I would trade it for a Tudor Black Bay 36. Even though I like the Black Bay 36's size a lot better. To me, the Black Bay 36 is just too similar to an Explorer, and that would inevitably be on my mind if I had a 36mm Black Bay. Do I miss a steel bracelet? I do. I think the Tudor blew it not having a closed end link style bracelet on the Ranger. And there are definitely guys who have the Ranger on the bracelet and like it the way it is, even with the open link, and they just say you get used to it. And that's probably true, but for me, as soon as I saw it, I was disappointed, and that feeling has never left. Next, David Williams asks, any long-term effects from the freeze test? Is the Ranger a long-termer for you? Cheers. No major differences, it seems like, in the timekeeping, although I don't have any timekeeping equipment, and honestly I'm not a stickler about it, so as long as the watch seems to be running generally normally, then I am not noticing any problems. But in short, it doesn't seem like there's any problems. Is the Ranger a long-term keeper for me? Well, I'll be honest, the jury's still out. There are some things that I absolutely love about it. I love the dial. It actually wears really nicely on my wrists. And then there are some other things that, in particular with this model, I am still kind of struggling with. So for example, the specific example that I have doesn't have any of the OEM Tudor leather straps. And I think I would really enjoy this watch on the Tudor deployment leather strap. The other thing that I'm not thrilled about with this watch are the lugs, which, as you know, the reason why the watch was so cheap was because of the snotted up lugs, which frankly to me are still something that bugs me. It's tough. I've owned watches that I bought new and then I put a scratch on it, and once I put the scratch in it, it was hard for me to like the watch the same way. And then there have been other times where I get used to damage. So I'm waiting to see if I'm going to learn to live with those little flaws, while I'm also at the same time looking into what it would take to get those lugs fixed. Most of the places that I've looked into for lug repair, the cost that it would be to get the lugs fixed is so high that it would make more sense to just sell the watch and save a little bit, save $300–400 and buy a nicer example. Taylor W says, I want to be a one watch guy. There's no one watch collection in my opinion. A collection is at least 3 of any given alike things. That's an interesting take, and I think fair enough. One watch guys, one watch collections, it seems to be either way they're kind of invested in their one watch in the same way. Jim C says, isn't one watch collection an oxymoron? Yeah, I guess it is, and that's part of the interesting tension behind it, is that somehow you can maintain the enthusiast of the collector without actually collecting. Big ES, are you going to purchase any of the factory straps or bracelet, the camouflage factory NATO strap? What color do you like? Are you going to go with the bun strap, the OEM leather strap with the Tudor deployment? Yep. Like I said, I do miss the OEM leather strap and the deployment, so I'm looking for one of those on the used market. I actually currently just have the black NATO strap, which is 22 millimeters. The camouflage one that came on the watch was actually 20 millimeters, and there was a big lug gap. I didn't like that, so I sold that on eBay. So yeah, I will probably be looking for factory straps if I decide to keep this watch. And Alexander Bender says, is there anything that I don't like about it? So there are some things that I don't like about the Tudor Ranger. The biggest thing that I don't like about it, aside from the damage, which is specific to this model, is the fact that I'm normally not wearing oversized watches. And even though this watch has a very reasonable lug to lug, that is to say that it's really not very long from the tip of one lug to the bottom, top to bottom on the lugs, it still wears fairly thick, and it still wears large with a big dial. So that's something that if I do keep a Tudor Ranger in my collection, it will just have to be as the oversized field watch in my collection, which currently I don't have one. I have had other oversized field watches in my collection in the past, and I do like having one of those in there because sometimes it's nice to wear something with more wrist presence, even though I think that term is greatly overrated. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what your thoughts are about being a one watch guy or having a one watch collection. Also let me know if you think I should keep my Tudor Ranger or if I should find a better example. You know, it's interesting for me, a lot of this one watch collection stuff is really fundamentally about the question to consolidate. So sometimes I've wondered, for example, like I have a lot of sentimental value with this Air King which I threw on. I could sell that, and I could sell the Ranger, and I could sell the Alpinist, and the Omega would never go. And I could probably be pretty close to having a Rolex Explorer. The problem with me is that the 36mm Explorer that I would be getting is so popular, it's kind of blasé to me at this point, because it seems like whenever you roll on Instagram, everyone has that watch. So unless it was a special version like a blackout Explorer or something, I don't think I'd be very interested. I don't know, it's hard to say. I do like the 36mm Explorer in principle for sure. It's just so popular and so commonplace that it's hard to say. I've thought about other things like the Trilogy Omega Railmaster, which is absolutely gorgeous. That can be also priced out for probably what I would be able to obtain if I sold the majority of my collection. But then I would probably just have a couple of Omegas, and I do like having some different brands in the collection. I'm not really a brand collector. And eventually I do want to get other watches in the collection, which seems to me maybe the strongest argument that I'm not a one watch guy, is that there are plenty of other watches that I want to check out and at least try owning and seeing what they're like. Alright, if you're new to the channel here, I want to invite you to subscribe. Please do hit that subscribe button. It supports my channel. I'm really excited. I'm getting close to 50,000 subscribers, but I'm also really surprised how slow my channel is growing at this point, even though I'm creating regular content. I know that the core group of people watching my videos lately are subscribers, but a lot of my older videos are attracting non-subscribers. And so if you're a non-subscriber who's made it this far, please support 555 Gear by hitting that subscribe button. And if you are really excited about what you're seeing here, you can hit the bell. I don't think the notification system is working very well, but hey, maybe it will work for you. And of course, as always, thank you very much for watching. Guys, here's kind of a fun idea I have for an end of video segment, which is just a quick pocket dump. And so let's see if I can keep up the consistency about what's in my pockets at the time of wrapping up the video. And today I have the Prometheus Rights Alpha, a beautiful pen with a Mont Blanc insert, Rolex Air King as I mentioned, and then this is a knife I just received for review. This is the Vox Design Fox Knives Saru, which features a very trick little flipper and a very high-end construction. This is a titanium knife with N390 steel, so very premium, but also very carryable too. It's a little knife, as you can see. So I will be rolling out reviews for some of this gear. If you haven't seen it already on my channel, that's what's in my pockets today. Let me know if you like this little mini segment. Thanks.